Welcome to Ace Will Travel, and today I'm going to talk about the trip we had yesterday. We went up to Natural Bridge hiking trail in Angels Camp, and I'll tell you, we'd never been before, so it was definitely a time to go explore something new. It looked cool. It looked like an easy 1 mile in, 1 mile out, no issue kind of trail. So we're like, all right, let's go check it out. We took the fastest route up there, which is about 1 hour and 15 from us. It took us about 1 hour and 40, because as soon as we got into the main part of Angels Camp, my youngest decided to refund on breakfast. The hills were a little windy, and we were a little ill-prepared as parents. Usually we have everything packed ready to go. We have Dramamine for them. We're taking the road that's less windy, but that did not happen this trip. So needless to say, we didn't have wipes, we didn't have napkins, so it was bad. And my wife doesn't handle throw up well. So we were right by CVS, which was really nice. And that CVS had baby wipes and hand sanitizer. We did have hand sanitizer. And masks with us. So yeah, so we cleaned them up the best as possible. They didn't have any extra clothes in the CVS that would fit him. So he kind of stunk a little for some of all of the hike. We'll put it that, all of the hike, yes. So we got there, and it was really cool. It had kind of weird parking. You had to make sure that you parked in just the right spot. And it had a bathroom at the top, and took care of business, and we headed down the trail. Now, this trail was beautiful. I mean, it was such a beautiful day. The weather was probably the most perfect weather we had to go and do this. And so it was nice just getting out of the house and doing something with the kids outdoors that we could easily social distance, because in the world that we live in now, of course, we're still social distancing. So we ended up going down the trail, and crap you not, quarter of the way in, I ended up rolling my ankle a little bit. It still hurts today, a little swollen still, but didn't stop me, kept going. And I'll tell you, the majority of the way to the end of the trail is downhill. So just be prepared. There's a lot of rocks in the way. Sometimes they can be slippery. The further you get down the trail, the wetter everything gets, and it's like clay. So it's like red clay that you're kind of going down, and it just increasingly gets wetter and wetter, and that's because we're going down, the water table's there's streams, things like that all around, and just the vista points that you get though when you're going there are just amazing. So get down there, and as I'm going down, you get further and further down and further down. It dawns on me that the way back is just going up, like uphill. And I'm not a small man, and I'm in shape. Pear's a shape, yes. So it was definitely something on my mind as we were going down there. So we finally get down to the bottom, and I'll tell you, just before you get to the bottom, you can really see kind of everything. And you think you can get down, and man, there is an amazing cave that at some point we will have to explore on little rafts and kind of see how it goes. There's people in there in their skivvies, but the water was cold. We're talking, it is January still, people. The water was still pretty darn cold. So get down there, and it's just beautiful. You have a lot of stalactites, this little cave opening, water coming out of it, little waterfall, just right on the river. Man, it was really nice. We had lunch there. We made sure that, of course, make sure, people, anything you pack in, you pack out. So that was a bit of an issue. There were some people that, didn't pack all their stuff, and you could tell. And there were some people that brought animals when this is a no dogs trail. So I should have said at the beginning, this is not pet friendly. Mainly because they don't want this small trail to have a lot of animal feces, because much like other people's garbage, they don't pack in and pack out. People don't often pack their animals' feces out either. Luckily, we didn't encounter any of that. But we saw 3 or 4 dogs going there. But it wasn't too busy, but it wasn't completely dead either. There was a lot of people coming around. So it's just beautiful. We ate down by the river. We ate lunch. It was just really nice. Went down further a little bit down the river, and we didn't want to get too far because of course we had to come back. And my ankle's starting to hurt a little bit. But the biggest thing, I think, was the biggest issue. If for those that have had their gallbladders out, you know what I'm talking about. So literally get down to the very last step at the bottom before we go in the cave and everything else, and my stomach goes, yeah, yep. So that happened. Luckily, I was good to go. No issues. Did not crap my pants. I was holding steady. Till we had to leave and go back up, and I realized, there's nowhere to go down here. It's that sanitary. And I gotta climb a mile uphill before I reach the destination that I need to reach. So that climb up was trying at best. Because not only am I a big guy, but I also had some business to take care of. And those two combinations were not good. By the end, I was a little overheated. I deliriously made it to the bathroom. Of course, my 10-year-old comes up behind me and says, "I gotta go first. Won't you let me go, Dad?" Of course, I let him go. I was still sitting there. I think I was half delirious. Finally, it was my turn to go in. I walk into a bathroom that is close to probably the worst truck stop bathroom you've been to. Not even truck stop bathroom. Corner store, liquor market, kind of just, only accessible on the outside, gas station bathroom. The smell's not horrendous, but there's just stuff kind of on the ground and everywhere, and it was sad. I look inside, thinking, make sure I flush the toilet. There's nothing to flush, people. Let me repeat, there was nothing to flush. It was a hole in the ground. This was not even like a porta. I don't know how they take care. I don't know. Just everything went down in the ground. I was dumbfounded, but I was delirious enough to take care of business and stumble out of there. Now, there was one person waiting, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. We looked each other in the eyes. And I just gave that look and said, mentally looked at him and said, "I'm sorry." I think he understood. So I walk out and get in the car. Baby wiped my hands, sanitized my hands, and finally cooled down. We went back a different direction through Jamestown, Sonora, kind of that area, and back through Oakdale. But we stopped at Frosty's in Jamestown. Now, I've never been. My wife stops there every time she took the older two up. Every time that we went up there with, or she went up there with her parents growing up, they stopped there. I had never stopped at Frosty's in Jamestown. Besides it being busy, man, it was good. It was a good accomplished, or a good reward for something we accomplished. So, but yeah, Would I do it again? Yeah. Would I make sure I'm in better shape before I do it? Yeah. And to go along with all of our other trips, would I poop there again? No. No. Hashtag would not poop there again. Well, our next, let's see. Oh, let me say the last video. We're gonna head to Santa Cruz. That's our next camping trip. I should have another video up here soon with some new camping supplies I got recently. I just thought I'm just gonna buy some stuff. So that'll come up next. And as always, keep traveling.